Alrighty fellas, so I don't expect this video to get a lot of views because it's not flashy, it's not sales, it's not appointment setting, it's not anything like that. But that's a good thing for you. Because you decided to watch this video, you're going to have a massive competitive advantage against every other agency out there, against every other of your competitors. Because what we're going to talk about today is how to massively, probably for a lot of you, 2-3x the amount of shows that you get for the calls that you book. And before I get into why, and first I'll show you proof as to how this actually works, but I want to share with you this first, right? This is like the simple math of how important this actually is. So let's say these are made up numbers. You have a $5,000 offer, you close at 10%, and over a 6-month time period, you book 600 calls. With a 40% show up rate, which for most agency owners that I talk with is right about average, you're looking at 240 live calls, 24 closes, and that's 120 grand. With an 85% show up rate, which is ours, you get 510 calls, 51 closes, and $255,000. So in other words, you can take 1 hour out of your day to implement this indoctrination sequence, this appointment reminder sequence, and add an additional $135,000 to your business over the next 6 months, okay? And you can see, this is one of our KPI sheets here for one of our closers here. So if we go to like the stats here, we look at, hold on, where is it? Show percentage, right? So 66% in November, we made this change, we bumped that up to 85%. Now we had a lot of this in place before, but we've fine-tuned it, we've tweaked it, we've optimized it to make it even more effective, which is the one that I'm giving you today. The one that I'm showing you today is the 85% one, not the 66% one, because now it's really dialed in, okay? So now, bad news, unfortunately, I'm not gonna reveal exactly what it is we say and we do, because I don't want to shoot myself in my own foot with my own company, but I'll give you the framework and then I'll teach you how, and I'll give you examples of if I were to do it for you, this is what I would say, okay? So it's not going to be my exact word for words, but it's going to be what your exact words for word should be. And this is the overall, this is what the high level sequence looks like. So internal notification, notification to Slack, Loom email, confirmation email, SMS, and all that kind of stuff. Now, what I'm going to do is I've created a doc here for you that I'll pull up, and we'll kind of break this down, and I'll kind of educate you guys as we go through this process. So here's how you can automatically make 2 to 3x more money over the next 12 months by taking 1 hour to set up this meeting reminder sequence, okay? So a call gets booked, right away. You send an internal notification to whoever that sales representative is that is going to be taking the call. Now, if you're doing it through a method such as, ads or something like that, you then want that sales rep to pick up the phone and call them to introduce themselves, confirm that they're available for the appointment, etc., etc. If it's a method like cold calling, stuff like that, you don't need to do that because you just spoke with them over the phone. Number 2, you send a notification to Slack. So this is obviously optional, Slack, Discord. If you have a company channel, company group chat, we do, so we send a notification to Slack. Then, number 3 is a confirmation email, okay? This is, and don't worry guys, these are the basic ones. I'm gonna give you guys real examples of what to actually say in the future ones. This one's just high level because it's very basic stuff. So number 3, but we're gonna get a little bit of psychology stuff here too as well, okay? So number 3 in the confirmation email, it's just a basic confirmation. Hey, name, your appointment, you've been scheduled for your appointment at date and time. Here's the Zoom link, basic. But here's one important thing, okay? When you are sending this confirmation email, you want to say explicitly, hey name, this is an automated email and here's your details, right? And then you also want to send this email from a generic email address. So maybe like an info@yourcompanyname.com. You know how you can tweak that in high level, right? And the reason that you want to do that is because when we send subsequent emails are, more important, of more substance and of more value, we don't say it's automated, right? And we also position it as it came from you yourself, right? But by explicitly saying like this is an automated email, right? When the emails don't have a this is automated, even though everybody's automated, the prospect subconsciously is more likely to believe that this email was actually manually sent to them because they're like, oh, when the emails are automated, it says it's automated. So that's just a little mental trick that you can do to increase the consumption rate of the indoctrination sequences that you deliver, okay? Then you want to wait 4 minutes and then you want to send a 2-step SMS. So this little secret that works extremely well. So you send an SMS, you wait 6 seconds, and how you do that in high level is you go to minute, wait 1 minute, but then you do 0.1 minutes, and then you send another SMS and ask for confirmation. Now the reason you send 2 and not 1 is because that's very human-like, right? Well, what bots do that, right? Now, there's a couple of things that, people do here. Some things that, sometimes they will personally or intentionally mess up in the first SMS, like a typo, and then in the second SMS, they autocorrect the typo. I'm not a big fan of that. Nothing against it. I just never done it myself. What we do is we'd be like, hey, it's Dylan from, Mortgage AI. And then wait 6 seconds. I got you on my calendar for December 12th at 7 a.m. Did you get the invite? ? And you ask them, like, did you get the invite as well? Right? And then ideally, a lot of people, because it is very human-like, they just got things that were obviously automated. This one is like a human, comes in 2 text messages. A lot of people will respond to them. And now you have a conversation going, and already your show up rate has dramatically increased. Okay. And then as this SMS goes out, you also want to send another email and you want to share how it works. So this is where you can put in a VSL, you can put in a Loom, breaking down your service. Now, here's one thing that's very important. You must, and I repeat, must, position this email, position them watching the VSL to be in their best interest. So I originally learned this from the book, How to Win Friends and Influence Others. And basically what they say is, like, if you were to go fishing, would you put a worm on the hook, or would you put like your favorite steak dinner on the hook, right? Obviously you'd put a worm on the hook because you want to dress up what you want the person to do with something that they are interested in. Right? If you're going to go catch a fish, use a worm, not what you like to eat. Use what the fish likes to eat, right? And that's like the simple, stupid analogy as to what you want to be doing here. So you don't want to say, hey, here's my VSL. Here's what we do. Check out how great we are. No. Hey, name, I appreciate your interest in desired result. Hey, name, I appreciate your interest in us, possibly helping you fill up your gym with high-ticket personal training clients. But before we speak, I wanted to share this quick 2-minute video explaining exactly what we do so you can decide if it's something that you're even potentially interested in first, right? And we position them watching our VSL as like, oh, they need to watch it so they don't waste their time on a sales call with us, right? And then some of you might be, well, what if they don't? What if they aren't interested? Well, then good, you probably weren't going to close them anyways. And you can keep that time slot open for somebody who is interested, right? But positioning this is like almost pushing them away. Like, hey, like, watch this video, make sure this is for you. If it's not for you, cancel the call, right? Showing confidence, showing that you don't need them. And then also positioning it in their best interest is you need to watch this because otherwise you might waste your time on the call, right? That is a very, very, very good way to start this indoctrination of what you guys do, okay? Now, next thing here, you want to wait 1 hour. After you've waited an hour, you want to send them a long email. This is a sales copy email detailing your story. And what you want to do here is you want to humanize your company and create emotion. Remember, people buy an emotion, not logic, but you've already heard that a million times before. The reason we do this here is because what this is going to do is it's going to differentiate you from like all the other people that they've spoken with. People do business with people, and every one of your prospects, or almost every one of your prospects, have spoken with a prospect before. So some of you guys may know or may have heard of an individual named Tony Lee. I had a 3-month partnership with him. By the way, if you want a 3-month partnership with me, just like Tony did, you can click the link in the description. It'll be there. We will come in your business. I'll come to the trenches. I'll build out these indoctrination sequences, all that kind of stuff with you. And I'll even guarantee that you add at least $20,000 a month in the next 90 days. If that's of interest, you click the link below. I did not mean to turn that into a plug, but might as well. Anyways, email number 1. This is the My Story email. So the My Story email framework is intro, backstory, goals, journey, failures, epiphany, results of epiphany, number 1, framework, and results. And here's an example. So I won't read the whole thing, right? But I'll kind of skim it here for you guys. And if you guys want to pause this video and read it to get a bit of a better example. Hey, name, this is Tony Lee, and I figured to share a little bit about myself. Throughout 2022, I've been able to scale TL Digitals, but what I never thought was possible. This is not how things started. Talks about his New Year's resolution. He talks about how he hated his situation. He was stuck. All the negative things, right? He did get a little bit of client, but he dropped the ball. Why would you want to say this? Because it's a damaging admission. When we admit the flaws about ourselves, our further claims later in this email are going to appear to be more true, more genuine. It's one of the most powerful persuasion techniques there is, and you want to include this in your indoctrination process, okay? Ultimately, the client fired me. He didn't quit. He ended up getting another client, but he had to put the ads on his cards because he was too afraid to get results, that he wasn't going to be able to get results, but he didn't have any money. But then he went into like extreme mode. He eventually got his clients like $7 leads, and then that's when his whole business took off. So this is a indoctrination sequence where you can see exactly share your story, humanize your brand, all that kind of stuff. So people are like genuinely interested in speaking with you outside of business. And that's an important thing, outside of business, okay? Right as our story email comes out, you also want to do a voicemail drop, or at least we do a voicemail drop. And so basically you want to get across two things in the voicemail drop. Number one is that you've done some research for them. Number two, you have some ideas for them. So an example of what that would look like if I was in, let's pick the auto detailing niche. Hey name, it's Dylan here, the founder of XYZ agency. I just actually, was doing a little bit of research into your area there, and I'm very excited to speak with you. I've been kind of writing down some ideas of kind of where we can take things and how we can get you to that next level. I was going to do a little bit more research, but I just wanted to let you know kind of what I got going on my end. And if you can kind of give me a quick update on your ends before we speak together, that would be appreciated. Anyways, man, have a wonderful day, and I'll speak with you later. That's an example of how you do a voicemail drop. Now, as you can see, as you said there, you can rewind this, play that again. Even you want to copy that down as a script, however you want to do that, doesn't matter to me. You can see how, even though that seemed very personal, that would literally apply to anyone. Okay, and I just made that up off the top of my head. That's what a voicemail drop looks like. You definitely want to include one of those as well. Then 24 hours before appointment, you want a bot SMS reminder. This is where you said, hey, this is an automated reminder. Because when we say these ones are automated, it makes the other ones appear not. So, hey name, this is an automated reminder for your appointment time tomorrow with name from company name to help you desired result. Simple framework there. 2 hours before the appointment. This is a little gem here. Okay? You want a question-based soft reminder, okay? So basically what you want to say on this question-based soft reminder is, and this is sent through SMS, is that you're getting ready for the call and then you have a preparation question for them. So if you're using like paid ads, you can get even more advanced with this, because like maybe when they book a call with you, they say like, they're doing X amount of deals per month. And so for example, if they're doing X amount of deals per month, it's like, hey name, just getting ready for our call in 2 hours. I see you said you're doing about 4 to 5 deals per month right now. And I wanted to ask, how long have you been in business for? That's like a very customized, but you would only have to have that data. If you aren't collecting that data because you're like cold calling or something like that, you can either put a note in custom field for Go High Level, so then you can pull that in this automation as a custom value, or it could be, hey name, it looks like you've been doing well for yourself, or hey name, it looks like you've been in business for XYZ, or if you want to keep it very generic, it's hey name, what market do you primarily service, so I can do a little research into that market before we speak at insert date and time. Questions, you want to ask them a question, tell them that you're preparing, tell them that you're getting ready. The more that they believe that you are preparing for this call, the more likely they're going to show up, because the more that they believe that you're preparing for this call, the more perceived value that this call is going to have, that you're showing to the call prepared, you're an expert, you know what you're doing, you have insights. This isn't just a generic thing. You want to actually provide value for them on this call. At the same time that goes out, you want to send a case study email. So this is where you can share case studies. And then again, like we were talking about earlier, you want to position them reading these case studies to be in their best interest. So an example of what that would look like, hey name, before we get on our call today, I wanted to share a bit about my processes and expectations to help you get a better understanding so we can make the most of our time together. Click here to read or work with client. And then you can just put in, different case studies that you have, your website, whatever that case may be. 5 minutes before the Zoom call, send them the Zoom link via email, and then text them saying, I sent you the Zoom link via email. Do not send the Zoom link via SMS. We've already made this mistake before. What happens is people show up on the phone and then they're harder to close. So, like I said, you take an hour to set this up and implement this, and you could probably close double the amount of people in the next 12 months because you'll have double the amount of people that show up to the sales call. With that, I hope you got some value out of this video here. I appreciate you guys giving me your attention, and I hope you got in excess value in return. I'd appreciate if you want to stick around, leave a comment. If you have any questions about this, drop it in the comment section, and I will jump in there. I jump in there a couple times a week, go through all my comments so I can get back to you guys and provide value. And yeah, thanks guys.